Section 9.6, applications, distance, rate, time, interest, and average. Okay, continuing on, we're going to be involving these types of equations. So let's kind of just jump into the first one. A brother and sister leave a family reunion at the same time, okay, and drive their cars in opposite directions. The brother's speed is 50 miles per hour, and the sister's speed is 65 miles per hour. When will they be 460 miles per hour apart? And let t equal travel time. Okay, well, let's take a look here. And we've got the brother's trip. Okay, notice they're using the equation here of distance equals rate times time. Well, notice we have a rate here. The brother's was going 50 miles per hour. The sister was going 65 miles per hour. And that gives us the distance, okay? Well, looking this over here, we go ahead and say that this person went this far. This person went this far. When will they be a total of 460 miles? Okay. Well, coming here, we can plug this into our problem. And we've got 50t plus 65t equals 460. Well, we can go and start doing the math on that then. So let's come in here. We got 50t plus 65t. And you get 115 t. And that's all going to be equal to 460. Divide off the 115 off both sides, just like what we've been doing, and we're going to get t is equal to, well, let's do 460 divided by 115, and we get 4. So what it's saying is, in 4 hours, okay, that will be their total distance. It will take them 4 hours, okay. So let's continue on. Like I said, just going to do a few little problems here. A lot of these are going to be done in Hawks. Okay, so let's come back in here. Let's look at example number 3. And we have Kara has $40,000 invested for 1 year, some in a savings account which paid 7%, and the rest in a high-risk stock which yielded 12%. Okay, if her interest income last year was $3,550, how much did she have in the savings account, and how much did she invest in the stock? Okay, well, let's look and see what are they using? Okay, they're saying let X be the amount invested at 7%. So 40,000 minus X equals the amount invested at 12%. Okay, the total amount invested minus the amount invested is at 7% represents the amount invested at 12%. They're using the rate times principal equals the interest. Okay, well, notice in the savings account, that's just going to be the X. There's our rate. There's our interest. Okay, plugging everything in. Notice to be able to do 40,000 minus, when we go back up to the word part of the problem, that's where we get the 40,000 minus. We have to have this initial to be able to know what to subtract here. And we know that rate was 12%, and then there is our interest. Okay, so let's come in here and start working out the problem. So they've kind of already boxed it in for us just a little bit here. Let's come in here and start writing it all out. Well, at 7%, the interest is going to be, let me get my pen here. Remember, at 7%, that's going to be 0.07x. We'll keep the plus. And let's remember, looking back, then we're going to have to plug in that right here. Okay? So I'll come back in here. And I've got this 0.12 multiplied by our 40,000 minus X, all equal to what? Well, remember the total that she made in interest last year was that amount. Okay. A few things you can do here. You can go ahead and, if you want, multiply everything by 100. That's going to give you some very easy numbers to work with here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by 100. I'm going to multiply this by 100, and I have to multiply this by 100. Okay, that's going to end up giving me 7x plus, then I've got this 12, 40,000 minus x, all equal to 355,000, because I have to add 2 zeros to that. Okay, now I can start kind of just going along with the motions here. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to distribute that 12 into the 40,000 and the x. So when I do that, I've got this 7x. Well, then that is going to give me plus 480,000, okay, minus 12x is all equal to 355,000. I can now combine my x's, okay, so I've got 7 minus 12, that's going to give me a negative 5. Let's come in here, got the negative 5x plus 480,000 equals 355,000. Subtract off the 488,000 off both sides. Okay, and notice that is going to give me a negative 5x is equal to negative 125,000. Divide off by negative 5 off both sides, and we are going to get x is equal to 25,000. Okay, so what this is saying is x, remember x is our initial. Let's go back up here. Okay, notice x is our initial principal in our savings account. Okay, well, that's our 7%. So let's just draw this out here. At 7%, okay, we did 25,000. Well, remember, you're going to have to take that 40,000 and minus the 25,000, and that is going to give you at 12%, okay, she invested 15,000, okay, because we're looking for both types. All right, let's do one more. Suppose that you have scores of 85, 92, 82, and 88 on 4 exams in your English class. What score will you need on the 5th exam to have an average of 90? Okay, so let x equal the score on your 5th exam. The sum of all the scores, including the unknown 5th exam, divide by 5, must equal 90. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. Let me come over here to the next page. I have room to write this out. Okay, first off, you're going to need to write down all your exams. So let's remember that the scores that they gave us, and I have these wrote down on another sheet of paper, are going to be 85, okay, plus 92, plus 82, plus 88, and then we have that unknown, okay, that unknown grade that we need, okay, and all of that is going to be divided by 5 because we're going to have 5 grades here, so we're looking for an average, and it needs to equal 90. Okay, so add up everything. When you add up all these right here, get your calculator out, you're going to end up getting 347 plus x all over 5 equals 90. To get rid of this 5, since we're dealing with division here, I'm going to multiply by 5 over 1 and multiply by 5 over 1. Put that guy over 1. And I get 347 plus x is equal to 450. Well, then I can subtract off to 347. Okay, off both sides. Oops, sorry. Subtract off 347 off both sides, and I'm going to have to get x is equal to, whenever I do the math on that, is going to be 103. Well, this is why this thing, assuming that each exam is only worth 100 points, you cannot tame that average. Okay, so because you have to make 103, there is no way for you to get this, because it's saying since you can only make 100, the only way for you to get here is to make 103. So you cannot attain an average of 90 on this test. Not going to be possible. Okay, now maybe if you decide to lower it a little bit, then you can check and see. But right now, doing it that way can't happen, which is kind of what you do whenever you go on Canvas and check your grades, and that's what Hawks does in the background. So, all right, we'll do some examples.